to Blender Sushi Live. Today I'll be doing 3D modeling improvisations using an add-on called SketchNCarve. So this add-on is basically it says freehand modeling animations tool, and it's incorporating grease pencil to do 3D modeling. So you don't need to ever touch a single vertex. You don't need to select face or edges. You just kind of draw everything using grease pencil. And there's a lot of things this add-on can do. You can try and read and look at all these visual examples. I won't be touching everything, actually only just the basics. So I'm using Blender 2.93. This is the official release, so nothing fancy. And if I started with just a simple default cube to trigger this add-on, okay, I already have it installed. SketchNCarve, okay, version 4.10. And okay, I'm selecting an object. Okay, I will hit the hotkey K, and this SketchNCarve will have like the default starting point. Basically, there's hundreds of options here. It might be scary, but what I will show you that the important part is whether you want to start with remove, or like this is like a Boolean, or you want to add into it, or yeah, but basically with something already selected, I just hit OK. Once I hit OK, we have this carve camera. We are working inside carve camera, and there's this cube carve and carve objects, and that we haven't drawn anything, but we can spin around this default cube, and you can see our view is orthographic, and there's like a canvas in the center of the objects based on the 3D cursor. Okay, if I start drawing anything like a stroke, nothing really happen until I hit K. That will perform the first SketchNCarve operations. So I will draw another one, K. So every single stroke, K, right? It looks like it's eating the object. Okay, I'll undo that. Okay, so it looks like it's eating the objects. If I spin around, you can see it's like a Boolean cut from the center of the object. So let me try doing a little bit more. And for every Boolean cut, new material is being created. And so this is the very basic of SketchNCarve, basically. So you can, this is already really interesting. You can actually make a cut at the center as well, and you can continue making cut until this default cube looks nothing like the default cube. And I really like that. So what you are drawing here, the stroke, every stroke is grease pencil. So if I'm not wrong, we can actually use any of these. We can even use like a circle, I think. Oh yeah, I need to middle click. Okay, so draw circle, middle click. So yeah, it seems to be working as well with the normal grease pencil drawing tool. So this is what I learned so far with this tool. We go out of the object mode. You can see we are still in the weird camera. We can go back to the normal camera. Okay, now we are outside. I can select this guy once again, but in order to go back, we select the cube carver, or this is the grease pencil object, hit K, and I think start drawing. Yeah, I think, but we need to go back to the orthographic camera, go back to draw mode. Yeah, that's looking a little bit weird. I need to go back to the carve camera, I think, and need to be in this view. I think I forgot something, or maybe I need to okay. Yeah, I think now we are back. So this is really just the basic. I didn't even touch all the other options like array, spin. There are so many options here that I might need like a week at least to get used to this. But let's start fresh. Okay, so if you want to do like, you want to incorporate this sketch and carve into making like an abstract kind of work, so if you can do it in many different ways. You can use something like add cube. Okay, if you want to do this, you know, like for some kind of meditations, you want to make something really abstract, right? You can start from here with this tool. This is Blender tools. You can use cylinder, whatever, but I think add cube is the simplest. You can also work with the hotkey shortcuts like option will center whatever you're drawing, and this will add a little bit of slightly sophisticated looking creations, right? You get the idea. This is, you can draw box from any angle of the screen, so it's good for your mental. So now you have a lot of boxes, right? It's a bit scary. Don't worry, select all of them, Command J, and you have a single piece of cube again. And yeah, this is fine. And then if you want something a little bit more interesting, you go to edit mode. Of course, if you go to edit mode, you are working with vertices, edges, and face. And if you use face, and you know, if you learn 3D, you can tap E, you can extrude, and you can scale. You can do this sort of thing. This is like the old school kind of way. I mean, people still model this way, and you can do inset. Even if you tap I, you can inset. This is like the most basic stuff. But if I want to go a little bit crazy, select a face and then hold Control and then tap right mouse button, and now we are entering something really crazy, like something super abstract. I like this to be my starting point, but you might notice, okay, I started to go away from where I started, which is this SketchNCarve Addon. Okay, why did I even go this way? Because with SketchNCarve you are actually free. If I have this object, right? If I go to K, now we are back to in this sketch and carve mode. Okay, hit OK. Now we are in this weird environment once again. I'm drawing with grease pencil, but I can do like this weird slicing. Okay, maybe I don't slice too much. Maybe keep it simple. We don't cut through the objects too much. This is still pretty interesting. I mean, we are doing this abstract work. It's basically a Boolean cut using grease pencil, right? That's basically what it is in a nutshell. But you can do a lot more. You will be surprised, actually. Let's do a bit more. If I enable like camera projection, if I turn on camera projection and then I turn on lines only, I'm actually gonna be drawing lines. So every stroke is now becoming this line. Okay, the line, it looks like if worm cutting through an object. So it's doing this Boolean stuff, because by default it's actually doing Boolean. It's doing this remove. You can use add. So add will actually add object on top. Oh, it's adding stroke on top whatever 3D object you have. So it's almost like it's a snail or is it worms? I don't know, just something really abstract. You can do this multiple times, so it's accumulative. It's doing this accumulative effects. It's really interesting actually. And this is really showing the power of SketchNCarve. But even this, I'm only showing the basic because there are so many other options. Like I think the noise, I can try using the noise. I haven't used this much, but it's adding noise on top of the grease pencil. Maybe just don't do that for now. Just doing this abstract strokes. So if you draw a stroke, this is basically grease pencil. It's not very obvious until maybe I need to go to grease pencil option here. Where's the material? Grease. Okay, grease pencil. There's a layer and sketch, and also all this material. But for now, just to get used to these ideas, you draw like a grease pencil line or stroke, and then you hit K to conform the operations. You can control the line resolutions, you can control the every stroke thickness. I'll increase the thickness there. Just continue drawing. Can make something really abstract, and it's totally like nothing you ever created in 3D, unless if you are using like tools like VR tools, or I don't know, but I think there's something really special here, where of course we are working from the base model, so always have the base model first. If you want to make, if I turn off the camera projections, you know, if I draw something like this is actually using the center based on the 3D cursor. It's gonna draw this line. Something super abstract. It's almost like something in the like a space kind of junks, and you're drawing all these weird lines. You might already know that I really like the grease pencil. Grease pencil tool in Blender is like amazing. Sometimes the stroke doesn't look like anything. Okay, let's increase the thickness a little bit more. Line resolution 2. What else I haven't shown you? Oh, okay, when drawing, there's also this option like slice, knife, dice, and this thing like join stroke, join sketchy. That's actually pretty advanced. So like if I go back to extrude mode and wanted to draw something. Okay, now this is extrude mode. I'm drawing shapes, and it's just like a flat planes now, but it's still drawing shapes. Circularize. Okay, there's also options like join strokes. Let's try. Okay, I can draw this way, so 2 shapes, and I can hit K. Doesn't seem to be liking it. Join sketchy is more interesting. I can draw lines like this, and it's gonna cut and make shapes. Maybe not so obvious, but I can draw like crazy lines. It's gonna try to create something out of it. Yep, it's getting really crazy now. We can go back to remove, Boolean remove, and cut through. Oh, maybe it's too much for this. Let's go out. Let's go back to real world outside of sketch and carve. Let's go back to normal camera even. So we have this crazy object, this madness creations with all different materials, etc. I think, let me save this. Space junk for sure. If you're if you want to make sense of this, you can symmetrize. You can always use a mirror and then bisect, and you have some kind of weird creatures. Yeah, I always say it's like a weird creatures, but you can also use remesh and reduce the voxel size. It's gonna remesh it into a single object. Okay, it's definitely doesn't like my model. Normally remesh will like it. Maybe I need to go even smaller. Or maybe I shouldn't use remesh. I have a feeling the remesh thing is faster with Blender 3.0. Space junk. Okay, we have space junk. File, save as new, blend, because we are using the experimental version of Blender. Let's get rid of some objects we don't want. Yeah, you can actually let's say I'm okay with this and just hit apply. We have a lot of small pieces, but I can select the largest pieces and delete the small bits. Oh well, maybe we don't do the remesh stuff for now. I'm quite happy, let's say I'm quite happy with this space chunks, and I just go to edit mode, and I have one more tool that I use often. It's this ball pen. Yeah, this ball pen add-on is also quite special. This is part of the Kushiro tool. The ball pen is basically drawing spheres and projecting it into the surface. It doesn't always you don't need to always project it. You can just draw, and it's gonna draw like this tentacles. I think this tool is also really powerful. If Blender, I think with just Blender and some kind of VR tools, you don't even need 3D glasses. Some kind of tools that's allowing you to move in 3D space. I think this is really powerful to make this kind of space chunks. When doing this kind of meditative works, don't think too much, I guess. Just made something and then do the remeshing. Would be nice if this Kushiro strokes also make like a different material for every strokes, just like the SketchNCarve. So if I'm happy with this, hit Q. Okay, I have this total space junk There's this extra objects I don't need. Let's see if I could go back to K. Oh, actually, go to draw mode, back to this sketch and carve mode. Okay, maybe doesn't seem to be liking it anymore. Oh, because I don't have sketch and carve in this version of Blender. But yeah, anyway, that's basically sketch and carve. Just the really basic one, because you should look at the YouTube channel of the developer. You can make something that's not abstract. You can draw things. You can use the add. You can create abstract objects, of course. This one is making like a 2D shapes. Draw on surface. Mirror, carve. This is cool. I haven't tried the carve much. Array and spin. Okay, this is cool. With a stroke, you can randomize the thickness. You can taper it. Sculpt and random extrusion. Knife. Okay, knife tool, and also you can break it to make it like a dynamic object with a slice, slash, and simulate. This is pretty crazy. The cage is pretty new. I think you can use like some kind of lattice to deform and to animate your freeform 3D object. So it's really crazy add-on. It costs like $25 now. I think this add-on could just be like $50 or something, but still, this is a really good value. All right, so hopefully you find this interesting. I made like a space junk, but sketch and carve add-on. I will try to be more comfortable with this tool a little bit more, so I can make something that's a little bit less abstract. But thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.